Welcome back, attractive thinker, to another episode of Beyond the Break. Give yourself a fighting chance. Welcome my co-host, Tichet Bradshaw, the visual encourager. We are delighted to be back with you. We know that you're getting a lot from these sessions, and our goal, our mission in life is always to make your life better, to shine the light in the dark places in your life so that you can see beyond the break, because there is life beyond the break. Welcome to Beyond the Break, another Mindset Monday.
Yes, happy Monday, everybody. It is our Mindset Monday. I'm so thankful to be a part of this, this movement we are in. And thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in with us, we welcome you. We want you to come and get encouragement and use the tools and, be a part of a community that is thriving and going places. So I'm so glad to be here for another day.
Absolutely. We are excited. We're here to support. We know that you've had an entire week. We post these episodes once a week, and we know you've experienced an entire week, whereas you had some circumstances, some joys, some celebrations. I've seen, I be looking on social media sometimes. I see people have had babies, they've gotten married, they graduated, they've celebrated, and they went hiking and they went boating and they're quarantining and they're wearing masks and they're buying new masks, and some people are making masks. So many things. And I've seen people at the farmers market. I've seen people growing their food. So many things that we've encountered in the course of a week, and we're still here again to support you in life beyond the break, in living a victorious life beyond the break. I want you to understand something today, that there's one word that can describe you. There's one word that is the sum total of what you bring to the earth. There's one word that you want to be known by. There's one word that people will reference you by. There's one word that you will be remembered by. That's your legacy. And we're going to dive deep into that today to help you. How do you discover that one word? You only discover that word beyond a break.
Yes.
You cannot discover that one word about yourself that describes who you are, the essence of who you are, without something breaking in your life, because that break is a breaking of your treasure. When your heart breaks, your treasure is wide open. And when your heart breaks, something spills out. Something rolls across the floor right in front of your foot for you to see it. Something jingles a little bit, or something makes a sound. You're like, what was that? What is that? You discover something when your heart breaks. And today we want to help you discover that one word that best describes you. So Tichet, give us an idea. For example, when we say Tiger Woods, what's the one word that comes to your mind?
Golf.
When I say Oprah Winfrey.
Talk show.
When I say Martin Luther King.
Civil rights leader.
Civil rights leader, a movement, rights,
yes.
Justice. All of those words come to your mind. When I say Michael Jordan.
Basketball.
When I say Dr. Toni Hatton.
Vision.
Vision. Mm-hmm. When I say Tichet Bradshaw.
Encouragement.
So Tichet, tell us, how did you discover your one word that you're known for, that you live by, that's the foundation of everything that you do, and that you want people to remember you for? How did you discover that?
It was quite a journey in the discovery of that one word. One of the things that I noticed is that whenever I went through anything, whenever things were good, whenever things was bad, that one word always remained. That one word stayed the same. It stayed consistent. It showed up in everything I do. It showed up everywhere I went. And it was something that I just was. It's not like I chose it. It just kind of chose me, so that one word kind of chose me. And it's like, no matter no matter what I'm doing at that moment, the encouragement piece was always there. Like, I could be feeling so down and depressed and going through stuff. I could be happy and amazing and enlightened, but encouragement was always there. So I can always encourage somebody. Sometimes encouraging people actually will help break me out
Yeah.
of the depression or the sad state and things like that. So once I started self-assessing and I started to discover myself, I went on this journey to discover who I am,
Mm.
and through, not just on the surface,
Yeah.
not just, I like this type of food and that color. I wanted to know who I really
Mm.
was. What is the core
Mm.
in me? What makes me operate the way that I do? So in searching for that, I started seeing some consistency. I started taking notes on what uplifted me, what snapped me out, that one word that helps you to snap right back. Like if you fall off track for a second, that one word will snap you right back. It will remind you. It is both a reminder, and it also allows you to be stable in that. And what I mean by that is, when I say encouragement, it reminds me that yes, I am the visual encourager. Yes, I like to encourage. Yes, I need to be encouraged. But if I should get off the track of being visual encourager, when I hear encouragement, it's a reminder to keep me stable in doing that encouragement.
Mm-hmm.
So in seeking the truth about who I am,
Yeah.
I started seeing, hey, I feel a little better when I'm encouraging somebody, or I might have been like, sad or whatever. And then I would pick up the phone and I would call somebody. And then all of a sudden I'm like up and I'm ready to do something. And I said, that's an indicator. One of the
Mm-hmm.
things you and I talked about before, because you taught me to pay attention to my energy when I'm doing something. If it goes up, to do more of that. If it goes down, to kind of do less of that. That's an indicator. And you can see that on one of our previous episodes as well, as far as how to tell, being mindful of your energy.
Yeah.
So I was mindful of my energy, and I noticed every time that I would encourage, I would always pipe up. I would
Mm-hmm.
just, I would be so excited. Even if I wasn't trying to, it's like automatic.
Yeah.
That one word in your life
Mm.
will change whatever situation or whatever, however you view your situation at that moment. When you
Yeah.
discover that one word, it shifts. It
Mm.
really does. It
Mm.
allows you to think. All of a sudden, now you want to know everything there is. Now you're on the internet and you're Googling things that encourage, and now you want to go out there and encourage people. And it's almost like without that word, you feel empty.
Yes.
So that's kind of how I discovered it. It took a lot to get there.
Mm-hmm.
It took
Mm-hmm.
for me to really do some self-seeking in order to do so.
Yes. And you said that earlier, in your expression of this thing, like, how did you discover your one word? It's about seeking. We're truth seekers. As attractive thinkers, we are truth seekers. And that means we want to know the truth. We want to know the meaning to life. We want to know the meaning to ourselves. We want purpose. We want fulfillment. It has to have depth. It has to have, life has to have a foundation. The things that we do, who we interact with, how we be, has to have a foundation in order for us to be comfortable expressing in that type of an environment. In order for us to be comfortable and secure in knowing that this is the right direction to go in, or this is the right thing to do. So it called for seeking. We're truth seekers. When you start seeking, scripture says you're going to find. And I tell you, I guarantee you, when I started seeking, I didn't just find what I was looking for. I found a whole treasure of other things that were available to me that I hadn't even considered. So in seeking, I discovered my one word. And when I look back over my life, I was always functioning in that one word. You don't start functioning in it when you find it. You discover that you had already been functioning in it when you
True,
found it. See, it's
true.
one thing to operate in something and not know it, like not have a clue what you're doing, but you're doing it. But you come from a different energetic space. and you have a different posture. You express differently when you're operating in it, and you know that you're operating in it, and you know it's the right thing, and you know it's you. That's a different, I call it a come from. That's a different energetic expression. You're able to give more. You're able to give deeply. And not only give, you shift from giving. And now as you give, you begin to receive because you're clear, because you know you're doing the right thing, because it feels right, because it opens your heart. Your heart space is in it. A lot of things that we do, it's easy to do something and your heart is not in it. But when you find that one word that says it all, your heart is in it. And when your heart is in it, anything that your heart is in, you're connected to it.
True.
And the connection is where the power flows. The power flows through the connection, the power in your life. When I say power, I mean the energy, that the thing that, like Tichet said, that motivation, that thing that lifts you, that energizes you, that gets you up and about life again. When I say power, that thing that makes you effective, that thing that gets results. Because you can do things. We're bodies. You can put a body to do anything, put your hand to do anything, but you can't be effective unless you have that heart connection and you understand that one thing about you that makes you unique. I remember as a coach, I have a coach. I always have a coach. Somebody in my life that's speaking into my ear, somebody who's in my life standing off and can look into my space and my energy and my life and my doings and beings and see my blind spots. So I was being coached at one particular time, and the coach was saying so many incredible things that were highlighting incredible things about me that I sensed them. I felt like what they were saying was true, but I wasn't confident in it. When you know that one thing about yourself, you're confident in it. And I remember asking my coach one time, I was like, you say, what is that? I have to discover that one thing about me that's unique. And I started going deeper, diving deeper, because attractive thinkers, we don't live on the surface. We deep dive. That's where the treasure is. You don't find treasures on the surface. They are in the deep. And I started digging deep because I wanted to know. Everybody has that one thing, and I wanted to know, what is that one thing that's unique about me? And she said, the one thing, it's not like you're searching for anything. The one thing that's unique about you is you being you. Is you being you. And once you decide to just simply be, you discover wonderful things about yourself. I discovered that I'm really good at vision. I'm really good at seeing things and showing people how to properly see things. I'm really good at shifting perceptions and helping people to understand that there's more than one way to see anything. And when I discovered that, it was fantastic and amazing to me because I had been doing it all my life. People were always coming. I could be walking down the street with my family, just going on a walk. I could be in the market or anywhere, and people would just come up to me telling me all of their personal business. I'm like, and my family would say, did you know that person? I was like, no, I don't know them. I don't know why they told me that. Because here's another thing, attractive thinker. You may not know who you are, and you may not know that you're operating in it, but people around you do.
Yes.
People around you do.
Yes.
So in order for you to discover, you might be saying, oh my God, Dr. Toni, this is so exciting. I want to discover that one thing about myself that I want to be known for, that I want to be remembered by, that I can build my life and my business and my experiences off of, that foundational one thing, because one thing is all it takes. One thing is the best thing about you. And in order for you to discover that one thing, you have to have a hunger and a desire to want to know who you are.
Yes.
It starts with that passion, that hunger and desire. See, attractive thinkers, we aren't mediocre people. Not too many things ruffle our feathers, and not too many things excite us unless they're coming from the deep. So you have to have, we have these hungers and desires. Like we could be in normal conversation and all of a sudden we throw something out there and everything hits the fan. Like people just go crazy. Like, wow, why you say it like that? Or what you say that for? Or what made you say that? Or wow, I never thought about it like that. Or where'd you get that from? So in order for you to discover that one thing about yourself, you have to ask yourself some questions. That's number one. You have to go back over your page. You have to sit down and find a sacred space that you can empty out and pour out and open yourself up where there's no vulnerability, and figure out, go back through your past. What were people complimenting you on? What do people always come to you for? What brings you joy when you do it? That in a place whereas you don't care whether you're paid for it or not. You didn't do it for money. What is it that you what books do you read? I had to go back over my bookshelf and start looking at all the books that I read that I purchased from stores, and I discovered, I was like, dang on, Toni, all of these books are personal growth and development. They were either all about health or all about wealth or all about a purpose. And I had to stand back and look at that. See, a lot of times we're doing things and we don't even know what we're doing.
Sure.
So you got to look at the books you read. What TV shows intrigue you? Which ones do you watch all the time? And I realized that most of the TV shows that I watched all had to do with shifting perceptions and transformations. What do you mean, Dr. Toni? Shows that I watch, like name some of them shows, Tichet, that whereas they're rebuilding houses.
Extreme Makeover.
Extreme Makeover is one of my favorites. Hey, how did you know? That's one of my favorites. If I mention transformations, you automatically know. My 600-pound life has to do with health, but it's all about the transformation. For me,
yes.
I like to see how people start out at 600 or so pounds and how they end up by following their heart and getting in touch with who they are. And Dr. Now sends them to psychotherapy so they can go deeper. See, getting healthy or losing weight is more than about eating right and exercising. There are some psychological blocks that make people eat the way that they do, or gain weight, or give up and just let it all go. So you have to be a truth seeker in order to discover these incredible, amazing things, these beautiful things about yourself that we take for granted, that have so much value. Treasure has value. And when we don't know that, one of the things, the reason why we don't see these things about ourselves, because we don't see ourselves as value. You have to first start seeing yourself as a valuable thing. You are value. You don't have value. You are value. You are worthy. You are worth something. You are good enough. You are it. Yes. Any and everything that you will create in this experience called life will come from you. It's not going to come from outside of you. So we can end the chase and we can end the pursuit. Always pursuing and never achieving and accomplishing. We can end that pursuit and turn inward.
Yes.
I guarantee you, when you turn inward, you will set yourself on the pace for a pursuit for a lifetime, because you're endless. There's no end to you. You're not going to discover some things about you and then you discover it and then that's it. It is an everlasting pursuit because there's no end to you. Back to you, Tichet.
You said so many amazing things. One of the things you said was you take it for granted. That one word, when you look over the course of your life, has been something you might have taken for granted. For instance, if you're a powerful speaker, then a lot of times in your early days, people have talked more about you speaking, more about your mouth, not realizing that's your power piece. If you are a comedian, then a lot of times when you were in school, everybody was talking about, you were always trying to make people laugh and trying to be funny and things like that. But that was in your power, was to help people laugh, knowing that laughter helps people heal. So you didn't even realize. And see, even with that, being a comedian for a second, when you are being a comedian, it's not just about being funny. You realize that laughter is the best medicine. This is how you connect the dots. It's not just about telling jokes. It's not just about hearing ha-ha. You understand the power in that. You understand the power in that laughter and the way that it does change a mood, because it's hard to be so down in the dumps and laugh at the same time. You know, you might not want to if you want to hold on to the pain. I know people sometimes we want to hold on to the pain because we want to see it through. We got to let that thing go and allow that thing to break so that we can laugh and get back on that horse and get to riding. But that I wanted to make a point that a lot of times you're right, that thing is what we take for granted. That thing we take for granted. You know, me encouraging people, feeling like it's not enough, feeling like I'm not really doing much because it doesn't require me to have blood, sweat, and tears in order for it to have results. It's something that I could just show up in a day. And we are really taught that if you're not sweating and ain't no blood and ain't no tears and you're not, you know, it don't hurt at the end, it's not doing anything. But being you is powerful enough, you know. And so when you are truth seeking or seeking who you really are, and you discover yourself, you realize that everything that you are is powerful on its own. God really took good thoughts in creating you. He really took really good consideration in the way that he created you. That thing you feel like you were different than everybody else and unique. You don't sound like this person. You don't walk like this person. That very thing is what makes you different, is the very thing that your power is sitting in. So for me, I wanted to hide my voice for a long time. And then I've heard people say things like I was loud, and, you know, now I'm loud and clear. You know?
I love that.
So yes, I'm still loud, just loud and clear. So, you know, I wanted to hide my voice. I felt like I didn't know that I had things to say until I start, you know, connecting with people who actually wanted to hear me. I remember years ago, I remember Dr. Toni telling you, I said, if I'm not heard, I won't speak, because I'm not into wasting words. So if I say something, it's definitely because I mean it. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. But if a person is not receptive of what I'm saying, and I know they're not going to be receptive, I'm going to save myself the frustration and close my mouth. Unless it comes so strong that I have to say it, which a lot of times it is. But when I started talking to you, you were just listening and let me off. Like, I didn't know I had all this to say. And then when we got on the radio, and I'm, you know, at first I was nervous. I was like, I don't know. And then I started speaking, and I realized I had a lot to say. And then when I discovered that I had a lot to say, that what I was saying was actually of substance. It was uplifting. It was encouraging. It was pulling out things in people. It was helping people to go further. It was helping people to keep going and get up off the floor. It was like equivalent of having somebody help you off the floor through the use of my loud and clear words. So I wanted to hide. And can you imagine all of you that are listening to us on a weekly basis, and you're being blessed by what we're saying to you? We're just being us. We're just showing you the type of conversations we have on a normal basis. You know, it is a joy for us to just show up and be us, and allow us to take part in changing and shifting the way you view yourself and the way you view life. You know, can you imagine that if we both didn't understand the power of our voice, if she didn't understand her one word, if I didn't understand my one word, and we're, you know, there's things in life we're still trying to figure out. We're going to always try to figure out, because just when you know yourself, you're going to grow again, and then you got to relearn yourself, because we're ever evolving. If you feel like you know yourself, and 3 years from now you still know yourself, grow a little bit, because that growth, that's the exciting part to learn about. You know, when you grow and you got to learn something, you're like, oh, I used to like this, but now I like this. I wonder why I like that. It gives you something to look forward to. It gives you something new and refreshing about yourself. There should always be something new and refreshing about yourself. The more you grow, the more you seek, the more you learn. You know, so I now embrace that one thing. I now embrace the encouragement. I'm now out of hiding. I'm now no longer trying to hide behind people. And, I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be heard, because I didn't feel like what I had was valuable, because I took it for granted.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I took it for granted because I took one opinion. It don't even have to be the right person's opinion, or the opinion of a person who don't even have your best interest at heart. Consider the source. Whenever somebody say anything to you, you have to consider the source. Is this person really for you? Is this person help? Is this constructive criticism? Because you don't want people in your life that's just going to tell you what you want to hear. You want people in your life that's going to tell you what you need to hear as well. You don't want somebody to down you and negate everything you say, but you want somebody that will give you the truth and not have you out here looking crazy. So if you have people in your life like that, call it a blessing. It is so amazing to have that. So I took that opinion of a person who didn't have my best interest at heart, wasn't a person I could even run with, wasn't a person I would even consider building anything I was going to build, not even a tower of Legos. But I took that opinion as a seed, and I watered that seed in the mirror. I watered that seed and looked in the mirror and said, you are not good enough. You're going to learn how to close your mouth. Don't speak unless somebody's talking to you. Me, we're all, like, can you imagine? You know how much I have said?
I know, right?
So I had to uproot that seed, but first I had to discover it. When you're when you're seeking who you really are, you are going to discover those weeds in there. And then Dr. Toni, let me ask you this question. For people that are seeking the truth about who they are, and they are trying to discover the one word, there's some things that are in the way. What would you say is the way, or a more let's just say, what would you say is the way to uproot the weeds that are getting in the way from you discovering who you really are, so that you can find your one word?
That's a great question, Tichet. And you said so many amazing things. In order to discover who you are, you first have to make sure you're seeing yourself in your best light, in the greatest light. It all starts with you. Like I said, any and everything you're going to accomplish in this life is going to start with you. If you have a question about money, it's going to start with you. If you have a question about your health, it's going to start with you. If you have a question about relationships or business or your spirituality, it all comes back to you. So why not get to know who you are? In order for you to discover that one word about yourself, you have to first know that you are. You have to believe that you are a R, an R, a B.
That's good.
You have to get in touch with your presence. You have to get in touch with who you be. And when I say who you be, I'm not talking about the hats that you wear. You have to get in touch with your essence, your presence, your spirit, your energy, your space that you hold in the world. Who are you? And I know they may be some deep questions and deep phrases that I just threw out there, but that's what it's going to take in order for you to understand who you truly are. Now, all of this soul searching and finding out who you truly are, like asking yourself questions and things like that, a lot of who you are, a lot of that being revealed to you is not going to come in a beautiful, pretty little packaged way. True. Discovering who you're not is another step to discovering who you are. If you don't know who you are, write down, make a list of what you're not. And as soon as you start writing out that list, it's going to pop right out at you who you are. See, a lot of times we're looking for answers in these pretty little beautiful packages, and it takes us a long time because a lot of times we don't see ourselves as pretty and beautiful and packaged well together. So we struggle with seeing ourselves in our better light. But understanding who you are, it's a soul-searching journey, and everybody's journey is different. So I really can't tell you a system or
Mhm.
a set method of discovering yourself. That's why you always hear me say, if you go back and listen to this message again, I'll say one of the things you have to discover, or one of the most important things you have to discover, and another thing that you need to discover. So it's in no order.
Right.
And there's no most important over another most important way to discover yourself. If I could say that the number one thing that really needs to be in place for you to discover who you truly are, you have to first know that you are an R, that
Mhm.
you are a being, and that you are in this space, and that you are a part of what's happening in life, and that you do matter. How you feel matters, what you think matters, what you hear matters, what's going on in your heart matters. You have to decide that I matter, that I matter. The outcome that I want matters. And when you get into that space of I matter, you stop allowing things to define you. You stop allowing things to dictate to you what your outcome can be. You stop looking outwardly for what's inside. You stop searching for yourself outside of you, looking for yourself in sex, looking for yourself in alcohol, looking for yourself in gambling, looking for yourself in shopping, looking for yourself in being distracted. You know, cooking and cleaning can be a distraction when you're called.
Yes. Yes.
Think about that. Avoiding and procrastinating. All of that is avoiding and procrastinating on discovering who you truly are. And our
Yes.
subconscious mind is a very tricky thing when it comes down to that. So when I say seeking and you shall find, and discovering who you truly are, it's not going to come sometimes in a pretty little package way, whereas you can just step right into it. One of the things that you were saying, Tichet, that really triggered something in me was I want the attractive thinkers to pay close attention, not to the compliments, not to just the compliments that you receive and what people always come to you for. Pay attention to what you used to get in trouble for.
Mhm.
Pay attention to one of the things. It's incredible. When I did my soul searching journey, I discovered all these amazing things about myself. I used to get in trouble for looking at people. And
Wow.
here I am known as a vision expert, known for vision. And I used to get in
Yes.
trouble for looking at people. So I want to challenge you, attractive thinker, to pay attention to what you used to get in trouble for. I said this. I was on a conference call one time, and this was years ago. And I was speaking about trying to help the audience understand that, um, like you said, Tichet, people saying things to you, and you begin to say them to yourself and believe them, and you started to try and shut your own mouth. When you're a speaker and you're an encourager, and you need your mouth to do that, people need to hear your voice. I was on this call and I was sharing that because one of the young ladies said that she was always told to shut up. Shut up. If you would just shut your mouth. As a little girl, she was always told this. Not and she said, how could I always be shut down with my mouth? And as an adult, I'm on this call because I desire to be a speaker. And
Mhm.
I said, it's because somebody's perception, somebody's distorted perception of your gift,
Mhm.
they spoke that over you. What they were speaking over you is their distorted view of who you truly are. Because, see, people, like I said about perception, there are a million and one ways to look at any one thing. The gift, if I hand you a gift, if I hand you a present, you can perceive that gift. You can look at the packaging, you can look at the bow, you can look at the box on all the sides of it, and your perception of it could be, one in a million of other perceptions. How you see a thing determines everything. And when people are speaking into your life, you have to be careful that you don't start saying what they're saying, because people can say all kinds of things. It's only when you say it that it becomes true. So pay attention to your gift, attractive thinker. Pay attention to what you used to get in trouble for. And you only got in trouble for it because the person who was speaking to you about it had a distorted view. They couldn't see your gift as a gift. And when you don't see your gift as a gift, you see it as a problem. And that's the same thing how we see ourselves. When you don't see yourself as valuable, You devalue that image that you see in the mirror. You start talking about it, you start mistreating it. And you're not doing this stuff intentionally, not combing your hair, going to the supermarket in your pajamas. You don't see yourself as valuable, not putting your best foot forward, always preferring the whole cookie to someone else, and you're okay with the broken cookie. You don't see yourself as valuable. No, I'm in a season of my life right now. No, I want a whole cookie.
Yes.
And I don't want crumbs falling off. I don't want no broken pieces off. Don't bite it. I want the whole cookie. Now, am I saying that I want somebody else to get the broken cookie? No, I'm not saying that. But you have to want the whole cookie for yourself. You want a whole cookie? I want a whole cookie. So we all gonna get some whole cookies. I'm not standing up here and holding a plate of cookies, letting everybody take the whole cookie, and it's just a little broken off. Now, what's in the whole is in the crumb, but I'm not in a crumb season in my life right now. I'm not gathering crumbs. I'm into wholeness because I've done my soul searching, and we're here, Tichet and I, to support you in gathering all your parts and pieces so that you can show up in the world as a whole person, as who you are. That one word says it all. Back to you, Tichet.
You said, I am not in a crumb season. Now, see, when you recognize that you're in your highest season right now, and you're just going to go up from here, you're not going to accept any old thing. Any old thing will never even satisfy you. You know, when you understand your value and your worth is in who you are, not what you do, that will shift and change so much. But when you value yourself and you take care of yourself, you're not going to settle for less. And that's not even just settling for less from other people. You're not going to settle less for yourself from yourself. You're going to require yourself to maintain or raise the standard. And that's one of the things that I put on my power wall, is to maintain or raise the standard. Never go below my standard. Because the minute you start accepting crumbs, you make it okay in your mind that this is okay for me to do that, and you'll continue to do that and build a habit of that. But once you recognize what season you're in, you want the whole cookie. You know that you're worthy of that cookie. You know you're valuable enough to just enjoy that cookie, you know, and you allow yourself, you give yourself permission to be okay with being valuable. And you start making decisions in that value. And guess what? Everything around your life will start to shift and shape on the value, because really you are a product of your decisions. Everything in your house, that if you have your own home, and everything in your house, it was a decision. This lamp right here was a decision. That flower right there was a decision. I said, yes, I'll accept it. Bring it in. Yes, I'll accept it. Here's my money. Bring it in. You know, everything that you allow in your space is really your decision. Now, can somebody come in and do things that are not, that you don't like or that you don't want, that are unfavorable to you? Yes, but how you perceive it is still your decision. How you get through it, making a decision to get through it, is your decision. Not being stuck in something that is not pleasing is your decision. But you have to think, when you decided on some of these things, where was your mindset at this point? Because you've always been powerful or valuable. It's really a question of whether you saw it, rather you have sought out what valuable looks like. You know, look in the mirror. You are valuable. This is the start of what valuable looks like. So now you take that value, your valuable self, and go make some valuable decisions. And I guarantee you, within a certain amount of time, you'll start seeing value everywhere around you, because you attract who you are. Everywhere around you, you'll attract who you are. And then you start seeing the value in you and start honoring who you are. You'll start seeking more and more. I want to know more about me. Have you ever been in a relationship and you just start dating, and that person, you're infatuated, you know, you are intrigued, you know, that person is just so fascinating to you. Every time they open their mouth, you want to know what they're saying. Every time they do something, you want to be there to support them. What about that relationship with yourself? Are you fascinated with the things you say, or are you still questioning it, still taking it for granted, still thinking it's not worthy? Are you still saying, oh, here, you can have the bigger piece, I'll take the smaller piece, like Dr. Toni said, when it came to the crumbs in the whole cookie. You take it, you have to ask yourself, why are you saying it? Is it because you're giving? Is it because you're trying to look out for other people? Or is it because you feel like you always got to take the step back? That's the difference. Now, there's people who are giving. I'm a giving person. I will give you the shirt off my back. But I had to change my mindset concerning that, because I noticed that in my giving, if not done in the right perception, you end up being a crutch to some people. You have to have discernment, even with being a giving heart, because you don't want to give your life away. You want to share your life. You want your life to overflow. I think I heard Iyanla Vanzant say, you give out of your overflow, not out of your cup. Because you want your cup to consistently stay full so that it overflows, and you keep giving out of your overflow. You don't give out of your necessities, and people have needs and things like that, but what would they do if you weren't here? They would find a way, the same way you had to find a way, and I had to come to terms with that. So I had to really do some searching of why I made these decisions. Why am I a product of these decisions? Why was this decision good at one time, but now I look around and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking with that one. I want to look around and be like, yes, that was good. That was good. I want to look at my life the way God looked at his life. I mean, the way God looked at everything that he created. He looked at it and said it was good. I want to look at everything and I want to say, yes, that was good. That was good. That's good. That's good. So if I go through a season where I'm feeling bad, good is surrounding me. My decisions are surrounding me. The value I once saw in myself is surrounding me, that I can't even forget my value at this point. My value will stare me in the face, even if I don't want to see it. Now, see that, you have come a long way when your value and your worth is now loud and clear. It will speak volumes to you, even if you're not trying to hear it. It will speak to you, and you have to respond to it. You have to react to the value around you. You can't be, the old mindset, making the old decisions, and you done made all these new decisions, but you go back to the old mindset and the old decisions. You can't do that. It's not going to work. It's not going to fit. You're going to feel the discord of it. You're going to feel, the separation from yourself. Trying to go back to that old lifestyle is separating you from your higher self, because your higher self only wants to go forward. It's not going to go backwards. It's going to go forward. Now, let me tell you something. With going backwards, the only time that you would consider going backward is to get the gems, to get the lesson. You don't go back through the pain. You don't go back making those same decisions. You go get your gem and you keep it pushing. You go get your stuff and you keep it pushing, So, I mean, this is amazing stuff. But once you understand the value in yourself, then that one word you'll see will start popping up. That one thing will start popping up and start being loud, and then you can't miss it. You can't miss you being a visionary. If you go on Toni's site, it's vision, 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 vision. If you go ever see her speak, and I recommend that you do. If you ever go see her speak, you're going to hear vision, 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 vision. And you know what? One of the things that I love about her is that she does wear many hats and she wears them well. But when you want to know about health, honey, she do that. She do that. I could tell her, oh, I just got, a little crick in my neck, and she'll be like, you go on the refrigerator and get this, and you need to go to the store and have that. And it's like, it just flows out of her easily. Like, she don't even have to think about it. It just comes easily. Who you are will come easily.
My God.
And you might have one word that is in your life, but we have multiple things with us. We have so much power in us. We have so many things that will speak for us. We're just telling you to find that one word that will help push you through, that will shift you in the right direction, that will align you with your higher self, so you can walk that straight, narrow path to get where you said you wanted to go. Because it's all possible. Everything you want, everything you desire, everything you can dream of is possible for you. It's making sure that you are accepting and being, like Dr. Toni said, you have to be. And then I believe that when you are being, by default, in your being, by default, you're gonna create things that match up with you're willing to be. So
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, this is just some amazing stuff that we've had to learn. But back to you, Dr. Toni.
One word is all it takes to shed. You're absolutely right. Attractive thinker, one word is all it takes to shed. You said so many incredible things, and you have my fireworks going off over here because I'm like, that is so true. You know, when we talk about the one word being all that it takes, a lot of times, attractive thinker, throughout our lives, we have decisions to make. And you might be in decision right now and not know what decision to make. I guarantee you this right here that I'm about to say is going to set you free. It's going to free you up to make the decision and be good with it, be okay with it, feel comfortable with it, feel right with it, and move on in your life. That one thing, one word is all it takes. When it comes down to making a decision, all you have to do is remember who you are. When things break out in life, if Superman is standing on a corner, he's not standing there with the crowd looking at the stuff happen because he's Superman. He's like, oh, dang, I'm supposed to be doing something. I'm supposed to fix this. I'm supposed to stop this. I'm Superman. When you know you're Superman, you automatically know what to do. When you know you're Superman and you're Wonder Woman, you automatically know what decision to make. It's a no-brainer. It comes natural because the root is coming from is I know who I am. So many times in my life, I had to make a decision. And when you sit down and try to figure out what decision to make, the spirit in you will whisper in your ear, remember who you are. It may not give you an answer. It may not tell you what direction to go in. It will remind you of who you are because everything about you comes from who you are. If you know you're victorious, then you know what decision to make. If you know who you are, then you know that this thing that's being presented to you, you know whether it's for you or not. You know whether it's aligned with with who you are, with your purpose in life, with the path that you're going to take, with what you desire to accomplish. It's a no-brainer. The only reason that we struggle with decisions is because we don't know who we are. And if we do, we don't believe in who we are. We don't believe that we can do this. We don't trust ourselves. We don't trust that we can go from start to finish in who we are, in our own lives. We don't know that we are it. We are the change agent, that if I don't do this, it will not be done. We don't have that kind of clarity or conviction. When it comes down to making a decision, when you know who you are, you know what you're capable of, you know you can handle it, you know you got it, you know even if you make the decision and you trip and fall, you know you're going to get up because like Tichet said, it's all good. It's all working together for your good. And like somebody said to me years ago, Toni, when you make this decision, I know you're stuck because you like to make you like your decisions to be right. You don't make a decision because you don't want to be going in the wrong path and you don't want to waste your time. But here's the deal. When you make the decision because you know who you are, it's either going to be God purposed or God used. It's a win-win. All roads lead right back to the favorable outcome for you.
Yes.
It's going to be favorable because you know who you are. Now, when you don't know who you are, you're second guessing yourself like, no, I ain't even capable because I'm going to tell you right now, I had somebody say that to me. No, don't put me in this position because I was leader over something. It was like, no, don't put me in this position because I don't keep my word. They said that about themselves. No, don't rely on me for this and that and the other because I don't follow up. I don't get back with people. So you can be chasing me all around the city trying to find the receipt to this event that you hosting because I don't follow up or I don't keep track of things or I'm not accountable. So when you know who you are, you step up to the plate
Yes.
with confidence
Yes.
You may not even know how it's going to turn out. You may not even know how you're going to make it happen. But knowing who you are is enough, because that is the foundation that makes things happen. Knowing who you are is more than money. You're bigger than money. Your spirit is bigger than money, because like Tichet said, when you know who you are and you come from that being place, then you can attract money. If you can if you have the power to attract something, then you must have the power over that something that you're attracting. You must be bigger than it. I want you to think about that. Your spirit and your energy, your life is more than money. So don't let money stop you from stepping into your power, stepping into who you are. That one word that starts everything. That one word that's the foundation for everything, for everything. For every decision that you're going to make, it's going to come from that one word. But for every person that you're going to invite into your life and that you're going to ask to exit your life, it's going to come from that one word. We invite people into our lives because we know who we are, and we ask some people to leave because we know who we are.
Yes.
It's all going to start from the same place. That's why it is critical that you understand that one word that describes you. That one word, not just that describes you, but is you. I am vision, and it'll never change. Like Tichet said, we grow and we evolve, and we climb mountains and we swim through oceans and we walk through valleys. But that one thing about me will never change. If I'm in the valley, I'm going to be showing people how to see their way out. If I'm in the mountain, I'm going to be showing people how to see higher and how to capture all the jewels and gems along the way. If I'm over here, I'm going to be showing people how to see. I told somebody one time, I was like, no, you don't want me at a job, because everybody will leave the job, because I will have empowered them and helped them to see that they are bigger than a job. You don't want me to go get a 9 to 5. Don't ask me to go get a job, because I will clean the whole building out. These people will see who they really are, and they will start running after that one thing that starts everything. Back to you, Tichet.
I can see that. I can see that. You wipe the whole.
Everybody just fired.
Everybody just empowered, and everybody starting their own business. The boss turn around. Where did everybody go?
Yeah, I would get fired. I would literally get fired. They would put me out because they would be losing employees, because I would shine the light so they can see more clearly.
Now, see, that's knowing who you are and what you bring to the table. That's what I'm talking about. That is awesome, because no matter where you go, you go talk people into seeing things differently. Go. This is Tracy. She'll be training you. So, Tracy, what did you always want to do with your life? What have you? Is this what you always wanted to do? What did you want to do? Girl, you can do this. I know that you got resources and stuff too. They be like, you got a new person. So when you know who you are, and here's the thing, when you start searching and seeking, and you start finding the truth about yourself, it causes an awakening. You start becoming more and more awake. You start becoming not just awake, but just aware of everything around you. You're aware of how people interact with you. You'll hear their spirit and energy before they open their mouth. You'll start to see how certain things are happening. You'll start learning trends, and so that you can determine, okay, this trend leads to that, and to prevent this, let me do something different. You'll start becoming more aware of yourself and how you move, and the things that you like will change and grow. You'll start to become stronger and stronger, and when you become stronger and stronger, you'll become intolerable. Anything less than what brings you value. You will never. I said when I brought 2020 in, I am not participating in anything that devalues me or decrease who I am. Not participating at all. I don't feel guilty about it. I don't have to explain anything to anybody. I own it. If I said no and I don't want to, it's a no and I don't want to. I had to learn that no is a whole sentence. It's a full sentence, and it does not need an explanation. Now, and if I care about you and respect you, I may offer one, but I am not required to, because I stand in my own opinion. I'm okay with that, and I'm not looking for any confirmation when I made up my mind, and when I have the will to do what I said I'm going to do. When you start learning yourself, it builds strength. It helps you develop your character. Your character has been there, but it helps you to develop it more. It helps you to chisel. It starts chiseling stuff up. Some stuff you can't deal with.
Yes.
That you used to be able to deal with and put up with. And then you start looking, I can't do this. And back then it was okay, but now it's not, because you understand your worth and your value. And your worth and your value will never call for mistreatment. Your worth and value will never call for lack. Your worth and value will never call for you to live permanently in the dark. So when you know your worth and value, even if you go there, like Dr. Toni always say, champions go there, but they don't stay there. Even if you go there, you're going to consistently get back up. You're going to consistently get back up over and over again, you know. And so when the awakening happens, it excites you a little more. It causes you to look a little more. You want to seek a little more. It becomes this game. You know, last week we talked about the game of life and getting everything out of it that you can get, and not just going through and surviving. I did away with all of it. Just surviving. I need to thrive. I need something greater. So I needed to become more awake. And like I said, it became a game of life. And I realized that I was playing in a bigger game than what I thought. There's a bigger game than when you thought. You know, for my first 30 years, I was taking the game for granted. I was not in it to win it. But then, you know, in my 40s, I start being in it to win it. I start being intentional. I start saying, I'm not going to just only win it. I'm going to get the crown at the end too. Let me get all I can get while I'm in it, the training for whatever is going on in the next level. I need all of that and take it with me. And then it started to become pleasing, because I start finding different stuff. I start saying, okay, well, you know, this, I like this, and oh, there's more to this than that. You realize that things are not surface. See, like you said earlier, we go deep. You know, and going deep for me is fun. Okay, you ever been in, you know, every week I got to give you something. Let's talk about going swimming, right? You get to the pool, you know, you have the intention, I am going to swim. Now, some of you may be fearful of water. You might not know how to swim, but that's not going to stop you from going to the pool. So you say, I'm just going to go and put my feet in, right? Because you're comfortable with that. But this is how you get out of your comfort zone. You put your feet in, then you go a leg deep, then you go knee deep, then you go waist deep. Then next thing you know, you're up to your shoulders. And then you say, you know, this is not so bad. This is kind of fun. I like how my body moves in this water, how it can hold me up, and sometimes how it makes these splashes and things like that. And then you say, oh, I want to be a little more bolder. I'm just going to put my face in it. You might hold your nose and do like this, even if it's for a second. The fact that you did that when you intended to put your feet in the pool, you have grown from the time you said, I'm going to go to the pool, to the time you put your face in. That was growth. You know, and that's what we want to do. We want to get out of our comfort zone and see all that we can. I love going in the deep. I am short, but I love to swim in 8 feet of water. I like to get to the bottom and look up, and you know, I like a little danger sometimes. You know, you wonder if you can make it back to the top. I always make it. I'm here, thank God. But I like to swim deep. I like to feel the pressure of it for some reason. I like the way the water feels when it covers my head. I like to be, you know, like completely submerged under the water. And then I like to float or swim, and then float or swim. I like to go back and forth to see all that I could do to manipulate the water, or see if and not have the water manipulate me. So when we're going swimming, you might have one intention, which for me, for my first 30 years, was just to put my feet in the water. I was just going to go sit by and then sit on the side and be cute with my bathing suit and try to get myself a little, you know, a little tan and things like that. I had no intentions of playing a bigger game, you know. And so even though I felt like that's what I did in my 30s, but when I got to my 40s, I was like, oh, so this go 8 feet? So I could swim here, and then I could tread. There's different types of strokes that I can do. Oh, that's amazing. What's the different stroke? Let me see what the different strokes is. And I'm doing different strokes and stuff like that. And then I realized I wanted to play a bigger game. And then you get bold enough to start diving. I dived off of a diving board. And I had a good time. Now, the first dive, I belly flop. So you might have times where you go for the big and you might belly flop. Don't quit on that. Get back up on that diving board and go in. Make sure you got the right posture and then go in, and you'll see that it does not have to hurt. It can be actually very pleasing to enter in the right way. And you want to do that. So that's my take on that. Just make sure that you understand that this is a bigger game that we're playing in life. So seeking is a must. Learning is a must. Your brain changes every time you learn something. It's a must. You cause an awakening with new information. You cause an awakening, but don't just get the information. Get the information and allow it to be engraved in you by implementing. You take the information either, and when I say implementing, meaning you put those words to action, or you take those words and teach it. One way or another, you got to find a way to have those words engraved in you, you know, and just start playing a bigger game. And there's so much reward in that. And I just love it. Back to you, Dr. Toni.
Absolutely. I love it when you talk about the game that we play. You know, playing a bigger game in your life means not playing small, not hiding, not living life on the surface. Because even if, I mean, you may have had experiences with this. You go to the beach or you go to the pool and you decide you're just going to sit there and be cute and you're not going to get wet, but you end up getting wet anyway. Or somebody ends up splashing you anyway, or you end up, your hair gets wet anyway. So since you're going to have to get wet anyway, why not just play the game on a bigger level? Why not just play the game of life instead of getting played, right? So as attractive thinkers, I want to, and I'm so excited, I'm so delighted, I'm so overwhelmed that you joined us today and you stayed in tune to hear the message. I'm so excited that you kept listening and you kept listening and you kept taking notes in your attractive thinker notebook, and you got closer and you silenced the noise around you. You said, I need to hear this, and you stayed until the very end. I want you to make sure that you share this message with your circle of influence. Make sure you share, because people need to know that there is a way to discover that one word that changes everything, that one word that says it all, that one word that you're known for, that one word that you can bounce off of, that you can build your foundation off of, that one word that defines you and helps you make the decisions that you need to make in your life. You never know. Sharing this video can help somebody get unstuck. Sharing this video can help somebody's heart to heal. That's what Beyond the Break is all about. Showing you how to live a victorious life beyond the break, beyond a heartbreak, beyond a disappointment or frustration, or beyond an accomplishment. Because when you accomplish something, you have to break away from old things. I want you to think about that, attractive thinker. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Beyond the Break 2020, so you don't miss one episode, so you don't miss any episodes of Beyond the Break. Give yourself a fighting chance. Tichet, please tell our audience how they can get in touch with you.
Yes, you can find me at visualencouragement.com, where we provide mental support for people dealing with depression who desires to lift the heaviness so that they can see a new vision of themselves. Put your information in the contact us page. Let us know how we can enlighten you and encourage you and uplift you so you can live a fulfilled life. Again, that's www.visualencouragement.com.
Awesome. Attractive thinkers, remember to visit my website, www.theattractivethinker.guru, and get your 5 free videos. I have a series of 5 videos. Every day you receive it in your email, 1 a day. It's going to support you in getting the clarity that you need. It's going to support you in understanding who you are. It's going to help you understand your path and the journey that you took to get to right where you are today. You know, as a vision expert and a break the cycle specialist, I shine the light. Once the light comes on, you can see things more clearly and you know exactly what path to take, what decisions to make. Visit our website, www.theattractivethinker.guru, because our life's work, that's always to make your life better. Remember, it is not what you're going through, it's how you're doing it. Think attractively, and we'll see you soon.